Okay, I want to continue on working on our review of algebra. Here we have an example of combining like terms. So I have this negative 3b minus 8b. Okay, so if you can think of this as like a number line, all of these are b's. We worked on adding, subtracting integers in the previous assignment. But negative 3b minus 8b, when I combine those, I'm going to be left with negative 11b. Okay, so those are the only like terms. Now here in the next expression, I don't have any other k's other than my negative 10k. So I'm going to write that negative 10k down. And then I have minus 1, minus 6, so that's going to be a total of minus 7. So negative 10k minus 7 there. Now I look at the next example. I have an n here and another n here, so that's a total of 2 n's. Just having a little bit of trouble with this pen here. So I have 2n, and then I have plus 4 and plus 9, so that's going to be plus 13. This should read 2n plus 13. Now I look at the next expression. I look for all the terms that have v's in them. I have negative 5v minus another 4v, so that's a total of minus 9v. Then I have plus 3 plus 1, that is a total of plus 4. Okay. And next I have 3 times 4n minus 8. So I'm going to use my distributive property here, and then I'll look to combine like terms after that. So I'm going to multiply 3 by everything that's in this parentheses. So 3 times 4n is going to be 12n. Okay? And then I have 3 times minus 8, that's going to be minus 24. And now I look around and see, do I have any like terms that I can combine, and I do not. So that is fully simplified there, 12n minus 24. So now I want to watch my negative signs here. In this particular case, I have negative 5 is going to get distributed to both of these. So when I multiply negative 5 times negative 6b, that's going to be positive 30b. All right, remember from the previous portion here that a negative times a negative is actually a positive. And then I have minus 5 times a positive 9. That's just going to be a negative 45, or minus 45. Okay? Now I'm going to distribute, and then I might have some like terms to combine. So first thing I'm going to do is leave this 9 alone. I can't do anything with him until I deal with distributing the 5 here. So 5 times 4x is going to be plus 20x. Excuse that too, it's not cooperating with me. So that's plus 20x, and then 5 times 4 is just another plus 20. So where are my like terms here? This 20 and this 9 can be added together. There are no other x terms, so all I'm left with here is 20x plus 20. Okay. Let's try this one on your own and answer the answer in the Edpuzzle question that I've left here. Okay, so a couple of steps to this one. We've got to multiply 5 times m. That's 5m. Okay, so let's try that again. 5 times m puts us at 5m. 5 times 9 is plus 45. And now this minus 4 is just going to have to hang out for a bit. There's nothing to combine him with just yet. No distributive property for that. And then we have plus 8m. So now I want to go and take a look at where are my like terms. I have m's here, 5m and 8m. Gives me a total of 13m. Okay. 45 minus 4 is plus 41. Okay, so you should have came up with 13m plus 41 for that one. Okay. Let's try this one on our ed puzzle. So we have to distribute a 4 here to both of these. So that's going to give me 8m. And then 4 times 6 is plus 24. Now I'm going to distribute this 3. So I have negative 3 times 3 is minus 9. And then negative 3 times plus 5 would be minus 15m. Okay, so 8m minus 15m, what's going to happen there? We're going 15 minus 8 would be 7, so it's going to be negative 7m. Okay, I'm combining these two m's here, but that's a negative 15. And then I have 24 minus 9, that's just 15. So hopefully you selected that as your correct answer for distributing and simplifying. Okay, so next we're going to solve some equations. Some of these will have a couple of steps to them. We want to think about undoing anything that's being done to the variable. We want, so like in this first one here, I want n to live all by itself. I want to see what n equals. Right now, n is being multiplied by 3, and we're subtracting 5. So you have to think in your order of operations, you'd multiply first and subtract second. So to undo that, we have to reverse that order. So the very first thing that I would have to undo here is I'd have to deal with this minus 5. So to undo a minus 5, I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So we're getting one step closer to n living by itself. We still have one more thing to deal with there. So I have 3n. Okay. Now, all by itself is equal to 9. Okay, these 5's subtracted out. So now I'm really close to having n all by himself. I want to now divide by 3 on both sides. If I'm multiplying by 3, the way that I undo that is by dividing by 3. So now n is all by himself, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. So now I have a negative sign in front of the x. We'll deal with that at the end, but again, the very first thing I'll do here is just add 5 to both sides. Remember, I want that x to be all by itself. So now I have negative x equals 6. So you can think of this as dividing both sides by a negative 1, or multiplying everything by negative 1, or you can just think commonsensically. If negative x is equal to 6, then it should make sense that x actually equals negative 6. But that's an easy thing to miss sometimes, so be careful of the negative signs. Okay. Here we're going to now combine the distributive property, and then we still will have an equation to solve. So I'm going to multiply everything here by negative 4. So what happens? Negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20. Negative 4 times b would just be minus 4b. And then over here, we still have 44 by itself. Okay, so again, I want to get rid of, I want anything that is around the b, I want the b to be all by itself. So the first thing I have to do is undo this 20. You know, there's no sign in front of it, so we assume it's a positive number. So if I subtract 20 from 44, what happens? Don't forget this negative sign. That negative 4, there's still a negative in front of the 4 on that b. We can't lose that. Equals 44 minus 20 is 24. Okay? And now I'm going to divide both sides here by negative 4. So b equals negative 6. Okay, try this one on your own, and put your answer in the next Ed puzzle question that you see. Okay, so similar couple of steps here. We have to distribute this 3 first. So we're going to have negative 12, that's 3 times negative 4, plus 3r. So there's no negative sign on the 3 or the r, so it's plus 3r. Negative sign on the 4 has to still live with that 6. And now, with the 12 rather, 6 is over here on the other side by itself. So we're going to undo the minus 12 with a plus 12. And now I have 3r equals 18. Divide both sides by 3. And you should have came up with r equals 6. Be the correct answer. Okay, so what's happening here is we're not solving anymore. Notice the directions have changed. Now we want to evaluate the expression. So I'm going to substitute in 1 for x and 3 for y. So right here where I see a y, I'm going to replace that with the number 1. I still have plus 15. And instead of minus x, they're telling me that y is 3, not 1. Okay, so I want to replace this y with a 3 plus 15. And then we have minus 1, which is x. So we just follow order of operations like we did in our previous lesson. 3 plus 15 is 18. Minus 1, so this should just be 17. Okay, now we can use the distributive property first if we want, or we can just go ahead and plug this 2 right in. Doesn't really matter. If I use the distributive property first, I have 6 plus 32. 4 times 8 is 32. Okay. Then I have 4 times 5 as well, so that is plus 20x. Okay, and now I want to evaluate this when x equals 2. So I have 6 plus 32 plus 20 times 2. So we have 6 plus 32 plus 20 times 2. Okay, so 6 plus 32 is 38. And then we have plus 20 times 2, which is 40. So I have 38 plus 40 is 78. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and give this one a shot on your own and answer that in the Ed puzzle. So hopefully we did this one correctly. We're going to multiply 5 times 6, that's 30. And 5 times m. So we should have had 30 plus 5m. And now we multiply 3 through here. And I have 3 times 4m, that's 12m. Minus 9. So now if you're wondering, if you just plug 3 in right away, you should still get the same answer as me. I'm going to throw the 3 in at the end. Okay, I'm just double checking, make sure we distributed properly here. So what I have now is 17m plus 21. Okay, so I'm going to put this 3 in, 17 times 3 now. And you're welcome to use a calculator for these. If you can't do these in your head, that's fine. But 17 times 3 is 51. Plus 21, that's going to be 72. So you should find these day 2 practice problems in Schoology. It'll say day 2 practice, and that'll be your homework assignment and to complete those and put the answers in Schoology.